You know what's there? Waiting. Beyond that beach. Immortality! Take it! It's yours!
Welcome, everybody, to Immortality Lab. I'm here with my good homie, Brian Devonshire.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Christian Martirana, and our podcast, as always, is teaching you how to live at 100% until you're 100 years old. Learn to become immortal. Today, we are talking about post-workout nutrition myths. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm looking at the Notion now. Oh,
yeah, I
my
bet, dude,
goodness.
I bet.
We're
It's
in for a
great.
wild
It's
ride,
great,
people.
man. Like, so
Look at
I'm
this.
just
It's
gonna
so
get right
pretty,
into
too.
What'd you say? It's
It's
pretty?
so pretty and
I
organized.
know, it's gorgeous, dude. It's so gorgeous. So, all right. So I found it so interesting, man.
You're leading today, and I'm just going to jump in with some of the stuff that I found this morning. Quick research on my part. And so that's what I'm going to do.
Perfect. You're just going to chime in when the time's right?
Yeah. If I got something to add, that's when I'll do it.
Beautiful. That's what I want to hear. All right. So first and foremost, man, I found so many uncredible sources about post-workout nutrition myths. So many. And it was just like all of the ones from 2020 or 2018, 2019, they're just like, bleh, there's so no science to it. And I found this article that was written by David Barr from 2005. He's written so many articles on T Nation, and then he just kind of disappeared, which was interesting. And I know he's like writing for Muscle and Fitness magazine now or something. Anyways, so I was a little worried that the info because it's from 2005 would be outdated, but I did go ahead and do research on all of these and they still stand, which is fantastic. So this guy did not half-ass his stuff at all.
Does it say that he worked at NASA?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, dude.
You have to listen to everything he says now.
Exactly. And so what's crazy is I was trying to find like background info on him, and it literally took me quite a while to find it. There's so many Dave Bars in this world. It's crazy.
Huh.
Crazy.
You creep up his LinkedIn. That's the way to do it.
Oh,
you could find it.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that, honestly. No, I didn't. I didn't do that. But he has plenty of experience. You know, he's not a doctor or anything, but he's definitely had doctoral studies, specifically like muscle protein synthesis. Like I said, he has so many articles and they're really, really cool. And they're all very, very well cited and just, it's on point. So I do trust this.
Seems like a lot of people trust him too.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, no, it looks like if he's had doctoral studies and master's studies, it looks like he is a freaking PhD, or some kind of doctor. So the thing is, I wasn't able to specifically find that, but now that I'm rereading this, I mean, if you're doing doctoral studies, like
right? I mean, he was probably author, or maybe not the main author, but I bet he played a part in it somewhere.
Yeah, and then he must have, right? Exactly. He did some work with NASA over at Johnson Space Center. What type of work exactly? Like I said, it was hard for me to find info on him. He's very prevalent in the T Nation world, and if he's currently still writing.
Wait, what's T Nation?
T Nation. Oh, you should check it out. I'm surprised you've never heard it. Go to tnation.com sometime.
Okay.
Does
that stand for testosterone?
What's that?
Does the T stand for testosterone?
I believe so, actually.
Okay.
There's a lot of so many cool articles written by so many big names in the game, you know, and I can't say every single one. Almost every article is going to be very, very scientifically backed if it's by a good author, right? So if you see an author and they're constantly posting these articles over and over and over again, and they have like millions of views, it's like, okay, chances are it's probably pretty credible. And then when you check their sources, and it is. So he also, this is what I found to be interesting. He's pain-free performance specialist certification, PPSC. I'm also certified in that. And so when I found out that he was PPSC certified, I went to the PPSC website and I was like, hey, because there's like a little chat thing that popped up and some guy named Tim or whatever. And I was like, hey, Tim, I'm already certified. I'm just curious to know when the very first certification was held, because I feel that I was one of the first, which is interesting. And it's becoming so much more prevalent. And I was really happy to see that this doctor has the same certification as me.
Nice.
You know? Yeah, exactly. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
I'm trying to find this guy's LinkedIn. There are a lot of David Barrs apparently. So
many. It's crazy, man. He's ripped too. Like he's in such good shape.
Okay.
He's published several books: The Anabolic Index, Nutrition and Supplement Manual, The Anabolic Index, Food and Supplement Scoring Guide, Keto Diets and Performance. So yeah, he's credible. He's definitely put his time in. He's definitely.
And if he's ripped, it seems like what he's doing works.
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't usually agree with, oh, if he's ripped, then it works. But if you're getting older and you're still ripped and you're preaching about this stuff, then he's probably following his stuff that he's preaching about, and that's probably why he's ripped. So yes, I agree with you.
Oh, we're talking about post-workout nutrition myths this episode.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, we did? My bad. My memory sucks.
I did say it though. So it's cool. His mission is to advance the fields of human performance optimization through high fidelity, intellectually honest conversation. So I was like, sweet, man. I trust you. I trust you, guy. All right, so we're going to start getting into the myths, man. We've got 10 of them, and we've got some 10 take-home points at the end as well. There's a lot here. So how in-depth I go into each one, we'll see, but let's get into it, man. Do you want to touch on anything before we get into it?
Well, let's see. I kind of want to just read the titles of the myths real quick, maybe.
Yeah.
Just to give let's see. So the first one is replenishing glycogen needs to be a focus of post-workout. Pre-workout nutrition will divert blood flow away from muscles. Number 3, post-workout meal is the most important meal of the day. There's 1 hour window, post-workout opportunity of protein synthesis. So yeah, that's what I was finding was the window is
Bullshit.
contested. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
People focus on that,
Oh, it's ridiculous. And so what I loved about doing this research, man, I learned a lot, man.
That's the point of this, dude.
And I was one of those people that followed some of these myths. And literally after doing my research, I fucking went to the store and I was like, cool, I need some things to buy and I'm going to be better. Yes. And I started that last night and I woke up already feeling so much fucking better. I've never had casein protein in my life. And I had some before I went to bed last night and I'm like, woo!
Cool.
This morning,
Yeah, I was reading about casein too. So, hey. Okay, so number 5 is consuming the drink immediately following the workout. We'll get better results. 6, so the best meal to consume following a post-workout meal is good, solid meal. 7, insulin sensitivity is enhanced for an hour following resistance training. Whey is a fast protein. Let's see here. So number 9, using antioxidants post-workout enhances recovery. And the last one, aspirin and ibuprofen are good anti-inflammatories. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'll just let
those
you.
Are all myths.
Right. So I'll let you get into the nuance of it all. Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. So I think, dude. All right. So going into number 1, replenishing glycogen needs to be a focus of post-workout. I believe in one of our previous podcasts, I was preaching that to you. About how so many people are like, I need my protein shake right now.
And it's just a protein shake.
Right. And I was like, oh, but you should actually have some carbs to replenish your glycogen stores. And I remember I was telling you that,
Yeah.
right? And so I was like, cool, first myth, cool, man. I'm fucking stupid apparently. But all right, so it was so interesting that like what David Barr is saying is that it's literally not even a concern to replenish your glycogen stores after post workout. And because it does it on its own, it really does. And so there's so many studies that were done. And if you read through the Notion, they're all cited, every single one. They're all different research articles. And so it was interesting. It starts out by him saying, like, there was one study that showed that following endurance exercise, glycogen levels were replenished more rapidly when carbs were consumed shortly after exercise. He's saying this is really little concern. Unless you are a competitive athlete doing 2-a-day workouts, like unless you're really getting it, you don't need to worry so much about your rapid glycogen restoration.
Right.
And the argument is that cellular hydration and swelling will have an anti-catabolic effect. So an anabolic effect on your
Drink your
muscle.
water, man.
Yeah,
Back to the water.
Exactly.
Are we going to talk about breathing too?
At some point, I'm sure. We do every
Sweet.
time, right? He's saying that it's he doesn't believe that it's even possible because cellular hydration, to the extent that we get with creatine supplementation, I'm sorry, has little effect on muscle protein synthesis or breakdown in healthy men or women. And that
Right,
was
but the hydration we were talking about, it does improve muscle neuromuscular function at least. But
correct.
at least it's not going to protect you from breakdown during a workout.
Correct. Exactly. And it has little effect on muscle protein synthesis, which is the building of muscle. So on the synthesis or the breakdown, it has little effect. And then there's the suggestion that if we don't replenish our glycogen right away, we'll miss a window of opportunity to do it. This is such an exaggeration from different endurance training studies. Like I was just saying, there was that one study that showed intense endurance. There is benefit to having.
Wait, so they're saying that you lose the ability to replenish your glycogen at all if you don't do it at the right time?
No. What it's saying is that you don't need to replenish your glycogen stores using a post-workout because your body's going to do it anyways. So there was a study that showed consuming carbs after strength training only increased muscle glycogen by 16% more than when water was consumed. So water basically did it,
Right.
And
yeah, 16%. I mean,
and that is significant enough where you would probably want some carbs, right?
But if you're just like a regular dude, I mean, you probably shouldn't worry about that 16%. If you're a competitive athlete,
that's exactly it. If you're a competitive athlete, then it's going to be, you do have different windows and such. But for the general person, which is who we're talking to, right? We're trying to get everyone to live at 100% till they're 100 years old. You're probably not doing 2-a-days. You're probably not doing crazy savage workouts or running 10 miles a day and stuff. And if you are, we're not talking to you. Then yeah, go ahead and do your post-workout stuff. But even then, take some of this info for sure. So, no, basically no matter what's saying from that study that muscle glycogen was 16% more than when water was consumed. The conclusion to that was that we should have pretty much no doubt that glycogen levels will be restored within 24 hours.
Yeah. I wanted to say something about that.
Yeah.
When I was looking up if I could do a 100-mile race while fasted, and that's one of the things I learned is how fast your body replenishes glycogen, and it's about you get to 100%. It's impossible basically to deplete it completely, but the point was you replenish it back to 100% after about 24 hours. So it's like, 10% every, or I mean, if you just divide 100 by 24 hours, that's how much percent glycogen you replenish every hour.
So roughly 2.5%, huh?
Yeah, I think, yeah,
Or
that sounds
wait,
right. Somewhere around there.
by 24,
Math.
whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, you'll replenish your glycogen um, on your own within a day.
Literally without food.
Yeah, your
It just
body can
happens.
your body can make glycogen from fat. So as
Right.
long as you're not a skeleton, you're good.
Exactly. And that's just homeostasis. It's our body is doing its thing, man. It's like, hey, we need you to get back to normal. And that's that. That's interesting. So if you said 100-mile race, if you did it fasted, like, so
I was just seeing if it was possible, and I learned that, that's how fast you replenish.
so you could do it if you had enough body fat, but not if you were too skinny.
Yeah, I mean, you have to move your VO2 max. Like, so you want to you're doing the race below 70% VO2 of your VO2 max. So you want to be able to uh, do the race at that rate, like, so you're not exerting yourself a lot for 19 hours or however long it takes you. So you need to be really, really fit. And so then at that rate, you could use the fat as enough energy rather than using your glycogen. If like high intensity would be over 70% VO2, then you would use your glycogen within 2 hours, and you couldn't do the race without eating something.
For sure. Absolutely. That makes sense. And that would go into like the energy systems as well, oxidative, glycolysis, and ATP PCR, which I think we may have touched on one of our different podcasts, but we'll go into it in the future one for sure. So basically the gist of this, man, is that your body's going to restore your glycogen on its own. And you don't need that like, you're like, you're doing your set, boom, protein shake, like right now, dude, like instantly protein carb drink, right?
If it's within 5 minutes, you're good, but it's 6 minutes, you're too late. You just lost all your gains. No.
All of it, man. All of it, dude. So if you are not an athlete, if you are not training so intensely, don't worry so much about your post-workout glycogen restoration. So that's more so carbohydrates, not protein. That's carbohydrates that we're talking about. Cool. Any questions on that one?
I wanted to add something before we move on to that. It's not so much the glycogen restoration you need to worry about, but it is if you have a post-workout shake or whatever with carbs and protein, it's the insulin response that has an effect on muscle synthesis.
Yes.
Is what I was finding.
Yes. And as we go further down, we definitely will get into that. So I'm happy that you brought that up. Okay. As always, you're fucking on top of it. Everything.
I try to be.
Dude, you are. And your edits on the podcast are so amazing. Gosh. When you zoomed in on my face the other day. Dude,
I had to, dude.
I died, man. I was dying. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go into myth number 2. Pre-workout nutrition will divert blood flow away from muscles during the workout. So basically what that's saying is if you eat your blood, and what's crazy is that when I went to Pima to get, what was it? The fitness professional certificate over from Pima. What I learned too is that when you do eat, blood does get shunted away from your muscles and it goes toward your stomach to help you digest it.
You got to digest it, man.
Right, exactly. And so for forever, I've always thought that, right? And so it makes
You're saying
sense.
that's wrong?
It's wrong. It's wrong, dude.
Oh, and
no. So
my world is shattering.
I know. You're kidding me, dude. And it just makes sense, right? It's one of those things that just makes sense. So you're
Yeah,
like,
it's
okay,
very
I'll believe
logical. Yeah.
it. Yeah, exactly. And there's several myths like that. You're like, oh, it has to be, because why wouldn't it, dude? So looking deeper into it, we can find that the insulin stimulated by food intake enhances blood flow and subsequent nutrient delivery to the muscles.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Oh.
Right, dude? Your hairs are sticking up off your arm, huh? You and insulin, you fucking love
I
it.
know.
Oh my
I
god.
both love it and I hate it also.
No, you
It's a
got
love
it.
hate,
You
yin
got
and
it.
yang.
That's the balance of life, man. And so, if you're applying this principle, liquid pre-workout meals dramatically increase muscle blood flow and protein synthesis. So, the elevation in muscle growth is at least twice that is observed with the same drink taken post-workout. So, your pre-workout nutrition is far more important than your post-workout protein drink, you know? I found that to be so
Hmm.
awesome.
Just
And
fucking the opposite.
it
Tables
is, it's
flipped.
totally opposite. And so what's crazy, man, for the longest time, when I was probably the strongest of my life, when I was like benching 320, fucking deadlifting like 405 and squatting 395 and shit. I would eat almost right before my workouts. And then I would eat right after my workouts. I would just eat all the fucking time.
Uh-huh.
And everyone would always tell me like, oh, I don't know if you should. You should probably go into your workout more fasted. And I was like, I don't know. I feel, I don't know. Look at
It's
the
working
numbers.
for me. Yeah.
It's working for me. So maybe I'm just the anomaly. I don't know. I never did research into it. Here we are doing the research, and this is the explanation why. So eat some fucking food or have some kind of pre-workout nutrition, not pre-workout like a C4. You know what I'm talking about? Like
And
a Bang energy drink. Like a Bang energy drink's not going to give you
right.
this.
You,
It's
you
good.
need
You need
some
like
you need
nutrition.
the insulin response.
Exactly.
And here's one of the studies I was reading today, and it's the conclusion is, let's see, hold on. This was from 2010. So endothelial dependent vasodilation and the consequent increase in nutritive flow are mechanisms by which insulin stimulates muscle protein synthesis in humans. And they also talk about mTOR. Um, and this is the protein that um, influences longevity in animals. So this, when it's activated by insulin, essentially it affects your lifespan negatively. So this is why people like fasting, because when you're fasted, this is not activated, and so you live longer, or at least in mice. So, but we're pretty sure that it'll translate to humans. It takes time to study those things.
Of course. Well, that's why. Right. Exactly. That's interesting. That is interesting,
Right.
man.
And one of the things I wanted to say, so if you're like what you were doing, you were constantly eating and working out, and you were like peak physical fitness back then, strongest you ever been, right?
Yep.
And so you're eating constantly, you're activating mTOR.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, you're decreasing your lifespan because of that. So
Sure.
if you want to maximize your lifespan through that mechanism, you want to train like you did, and then have an off season, basically,
Right.
where you do a little bit of fasting and something like that.
Sure. Okay. That's cool. That's very cool. That's
Yin and
interesting.
yang, man.
mTOR. I
Yeah,
need to.
it's
Skeletor!
Skeletor.
Close your mouth, Skeletor! Dude, so I need to do.
I have the power.
Holy shit, dude.
I can give you
Put
a
picture of
quick background.
Skeletor and He-Man right there, dude.
Absolutely, dude. And I said, hey.
Gosh, dude, I fucking love this podcast, man. Holy
Here,
shit.
let me just give some quick background on mTOR. This is the first time you're hearing about it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the letters stand for mammalian target of rapamycin, and rapamycin was a drug they were studying using mice. and it was an immunosuppressant. So I guess they were doing transplants on them, so you need to suppress the immune system or something. And they also, like on accident, they found out that the mice were living longer because they deactivated mTOR. And some of the mice were like doubling their lifespan, which is insane. But with that, you can't just have it deactivated all the time because it modulates a lot of things in your body. One of them being your immune system. And hold on, let me see. So it helps with the function of liver, muscle, adipose tissue in your brain, and it's dysregulated in people with diabetes, obesity, depression, and certain cancers. So you have to have it working sometimes.
Right. Right. You said the R stood for what? Was it?
Rapamycin.
Mycin.
It's a drug that they made.
Gotcha. Okay. At first, I thought you said myosin.
Oh,
MYOSIN.
I think rapamycin. RAPAMYCIN.
Okay. Never mind. Never mind.
Mycin.
Gotcha. Never mind to what I was gonna say. I was gonna talk about actin and myosin and like the sliding filament theory and stuff.
Oh no.
You know what that is or whatever. But
yeah, completely different.
Yeah, completely.
It's really
different.
close though.
Yeah. I heard you say. I thought you said myosin. I was like, what?
I'm just I hear people talk about this and they pronounce it myosin. So that's how I say it now.
Sure.
It's mycin.
That's why I asked. You know.
Okay. So there it is. Sweet background on
cool.
mTOR and fasting.
All right, back to that myth number 2: pre-workout nutrition will divert blood flow away from muscles during the workout. So what was cool about that, the last I touched on, was that the muscle growth is twice that is observed with the same drink taken post-workout, right? That's where I left off. So what's cool is this effect lasts for an hour after the workout. So by having a pre-workout nutritional drink or meal or whatever, it's basically like having 2 drinks for the price of 1 because it lasts for after the workout. And I would definitely assume, it didn't touch on it, the length of your workout obviously matters. If you're working out for 4 fucking hours, there's no way it's going to last for an hour after that. That's probably assuming the workout is probably 60 minutes. That's
probably why you want to keep your workouts too anyway.
Yeah, well, because you have the human growth hormone. Let's make that a podcast topic, man.
Okay,
for sure. Absolutely. The length of workouts, man, for sure. So basically, pre-workout nutrition is a fantastic thing. Include it into your life. Include it into your workout lifestyle. All right, we are moving along.
Moving along.
Let me take a little break, dude. Prevento.
Hey, I just want to make sure the pre-workout. Did you mention that it's more than it's carbs and protein, right? Or
it's nutrition. It's food.
A whole meal.
Okay. Exactly. So good way to bring that up. Like I didn't necessarily mention that, but yeah, it is food. Or to me, it's macronutrients is what it is, right? So I would probably, honestly, I didn't see anything on like ratios of carbs, fat, protein.
Here, I got one for you.
Okay, cool.
Here, let me give it to you, baby.
Yeah. And this is talking about pre-workout.
Yes, okay, this one does. So I found it's the International Society of Sports Nutrition. This is their stance on nutrient timing. This was, I guess, they only have one from 2017 for some reason. I don't know, but let's see. They do want you to have the pre-workout nutrition, both carbs and protein, and the fats are like 10% of that meal is what they basically say.
Gotcha.
30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates and like 20-ish, 30 grams of protein is basically what they say for most of these meals.
And that makes sense to me too, because like if you're going to go work out, that you want to use your, once again, like going into the energy systems, you want to use your quickest burning fuel first. That's going to be your carbohydrates. And then if you're, going into a long ass hike, then you're going to tap into your fat stores. Or if you're marathon running, you're going to tap into your fat stores because you're using that as energy.
Assuming you're in shape enough where your VO2 max is, below 70% at the pace that you're running. That's another complicated topic.
You're saying well, you want your VO2 max to be as high as possible.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, it's different for everyone. Like it's the 70% VO2 max. If I got some obese person to run, they're at 100% a lot faster.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally.
And you get some Kenyan guy, he can run for days and he's at like 20% VO2 max probably.
I hear you. That might be an exaggeration, but yeah.
Dude, yeah, it is.
So have you ever seen the movie Who Am I with Jackie Chan?
Uh-uh.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Well, it's not funny. Well, part of it. Whatever. Fucking whatever. At the end of the movie, in Jackie Chan movies, how it always shows like the bloopers, right?
Yeah.
So like they're legit in Africa, and they're flying this helicopter over, and this tribe, dude. Have you ever seen the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy?
No, I haven't.
Okay, never mind. So there's this tribe, and this is real. These are in the bloopers, right? This is footage. A tribe, and then there's a helicopter flying over, and they're like, "What the fuck is that thing?" And they started throwing their spears at it, dude. And it's like, whoa, dude, like this shit. Isn't that so crazy? Dude. It's like when you were telling me about the Hadzas, man.
That reminds me of like a Mormon missionary went to this remote island of like 70 people that live there. And they're like the last of their kind, right? They've never seen technology, and they do the same thing with planes and shit. But then this guy floats over on a boat with a Mormon Bible, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to hear the word of God or whatever?" And they just like throw spears at him and
killed him. I was gonna say, I bet, dude.
They're like, "Get the fuck! What is this white person doing?"
Yeah, who is
this ghost?
Devil, dude? They're like, "What is this guy fucking trying to do? I want to hear about God? Like, what are you talking about? We're here like eating tree bark, or I don't fucking know what they're doing, but like they don't need religion. I'm sorry.
They see you as a piece of meat, and they're gonna kill you.
Literally, that's crazy, man. All right, this might be a long podcast, man. This might be a long podcast. All right, so we are on number 3. We're gonna move to number 3, which is the post-workout meal is the most important meal of the day.
That's a bold claim, man.
It is. That's a myth, is what I'm saying.
Bold myth.
All of these things that I'm saying, like those are the myth that I'm reading. The post-workout meal is the most important meal of the day. That's the myth. I personally have never thought that was the most important meal of the day ever in my life. What it boils down to is honestly breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And the reason is this, man. So think about it. When you go to sleep, you're fasting, right? For 8 hours, you're fasting.
I would hope so. Unless you're on a tube feed.
Exactly. And so that's putting you in a very catabolic state. So I know so many people who don't eat breakfast, and honestly, they won't even eat their man.
I don't like breakfast.
A lot of people won't eat their first meal until like 1, 2 p.m. and stuff.
Right. I break my fast around 10 or 11.
Okay.
So it's not really that late of a breakfast, but.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. I know for me, basically, as soon as I wake up, I like having rather a protein shake or a fruit smoothie, something.
Right. So, but after learning about all this stuff, if I was training to build muscle, and I would be doing that too.
Correct.
But I started fasting because of the lifespan extension thing that I learned about. So.
Gotcha. Absolutely. And so that makes sense too. And I haven't done too much research into fasting. But like, in my opinion, I mean, you know me, you know how fast my metabolism is, dude. And if I miss one meal, I'm like, and I become a fucking skeleton.
You're a raisin.
Yeah, like literally, dude. So me fasting for 8 hours while I'm sleeping, that's good enough for me anyways. And so, all right, trained individuals have higher rates of muscle breakdown. Their metabolism's faster. So exactly what I'm saying, the faster we can stop this catabolism once we wake up, the better. So that's why after actually reading into this is when I was like, let's try to prevent catabolism in general if you're trying to make gains. Because if you, because based on what you're saying with the mTOR thing, I feel like your body needs to have some kind of catabolic state in order to be normal, right?
Yeah, you got to have both.
You have to. But if you're just gains, then you always want anabolic.
Yep.
Which I can now, thinking about it without going into the science, I could see how that would shorten your lifespan.
Your metabolism is increased.
It's so active. So it's gonna get exhausted eventually, man.
Well, I think it has to do, like, it increases the risk of if it's mTOR is activated and it's like protein synthesis, and it's gonna do more than just make muscle protein. It's gonna make other types of proteins in your body. And we talked about like what a cancer is before. It's just a cell that's making a lot of proteins. It's like multiplying as fast as it can. So you're putting yourself at risk of being more cancerous if you have that turned on all the time.
And that makes sense. Thank you for putting a little bit more science into that. And so that's why like earlier when I was talking about one of the myths and I was like, it just sounds logical. You said it sounds logical, right? And so that was my response to what that was. And you're like, hold on, let me explain it. And so I'm happy you could.
Sweet.
So like taking a slow casein, it's a slow release protein. Like if you have a protein shake of some casein before bed, then chances are you're going to be less catabolic and you're going to be a more anabolic state. Like I was telling you, last night was literally the first time I've ever tried that in my life. And I woke up feeling like I could fucking race a horse through a bank vault, like, like holy shit, man. And I feel great, dude. So eat your fucking breakfast. If you want the gains, eat the breakfast. But also this, like, if you have a productive day ahead of you, get something in you, man. Like, because food is energy. And so if you are going to be physically active, have carbs, because then you're going to burn them. If you're not going to be too physically active, honestly,
you can rely on the glycogen, right?
Yeah, exactly. One of my favorite go-tos, I guess I haven't had coffee in a long time, but just putting some butter in your coffee, because that fat is going to give you some calories and it's going to be like a slow release that's going to give you that energy for a while. And it also kickstarts your metabolism, so then it actually makes you hungry sooner.
With my experience about that, I mean, I don't eat breakfast, but I do find that I have better focus when I have the ketone levels are risen. I had like an early dinner, no breakfast, like I'm very productive that morning. And there is some science to that, like the ketones affects how fast your neurons can function, basically. Or we can go into it later, but that's my experience.
Cool. That's cool. That's
and
really cool.
And it's an actual treatment for people with epilepsy and seizures, the keto diet, because it modulates the neuronal firing activity.
Holy shit.
I know.
Wow, dude, that's fucking cool, dude. Wow. Can we make that a podcast topic?
Absolutely. I would love to talk about ketones and stuff.
Yeah, cool, dude. Write that down. Don't forget.
Oh, no, we already got it in there, man. The keto diet.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
Fad diet. Oh, and also don't put too much butter in, because people have told me they get really loose, if you know what I mean. The bowels.
Totally. If you want to hear something, man, so there was a point where like I was way underweight and I just needed to force down calories. So every single morning I would drink a cup of olive oil. A cup,
Oh.
bro. A full fucking cup, dude. Like, dude, it was so
God.
fucking gross, man. It's like straight up a cup, a tablespoon. I think a tablespoon of olive oil is like 100 calories, dude. So like
Oh my
literally,
God.
it was like 1,250 calories that I just glubbed down, man. Let me tell you, my fucking shits were just like floop, floop, floop. It was like a fucking conveyor belt.
Slimy.
Dude, no, but they were clean. They weren't sloppy. They were clean, dude.
Oh, okay.
It was like have you seen How It's Made when there's like the machines that like, floop, floop, and they just like let out fucking bloonk, bloonk. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, dude. You'll have to insert one of those How It's
Oh,
Made
man.
clips.
Yeah.
It just releases like hot dogs, dude. You know what I'm talking about, man. Oh,
That's so good. Okay. All right. Keep it going.
yeah, I'm trying my best here, man. I'm trying my best. All right, we're on number 4. Jesus, dude, we have 10 of these. Okay.
We got this.
Number 4, there's a 1-hour window of opportunity for protein synthesis following a workout. Once again, this is a myth, okay? So like we were talking about before, so many people are like, oh, drop your weight, fucking drink your protein shake. 6 minutes is too long. 5 minutes is just the right amount, right?
Before you even rack it, you have to drink. Your spotter needs to get a funnel in your mouth.
Oh my God, can we go to the gym and make that video? It would go viral, dude.
Oh man.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh. So what's interesting about this myth is that there's so much inconsistency with it. And it sucks. I hate inconsistency, man, because it's just like not concise. It's so shitty. All right. So the most often cited research on protein synthetic post-workout window is used on elderly subjects and cardio exercise findings to make their predictions. So that's a statistic in itself, but it's not the general.
Not everyone is elderly.
Yeah, exactly. Or cardiovascularly fit or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So this is acceptable, but you know,
Right.
like elderly people digest and absorb protein differently. Basically they are, whenever they're having whey protein, it's like they're having casein. It's slow. They're old. Everything's moving slower. Their cells are moving slower. Their neurons are moving. Everything's moving slower. So yeah, they have a slower digestion and absorption for whey. Also, elderly benefit from having 80% of their daily protein consumed at a single setting, as opposed to like you or myself, where we're going to have 25 grams maybe 4 times in a day. You know?
Wait, so I think, is that what they're saying? Is that it's decreased by 20%? They have decreased absorption, right? It's decreased by 20%, basically.
It didn't necessarily put a number on the decreased absorption, and I would assume that, you know,
Well, that's what this having 80% of their daily protein consumed. Is that what they're talking about?
At a single sitting.
Mm. Oh,
So,
because they eat bigger meals? Is that what they, okay.
I don't know why. And truthfully, I didn't go into it because I saw 10 myths and I was like, fuck, dude. If I go into all of
it's going to be 5 hours.
Exactly. I was like, oh man, like I don't know.
I think that's right though. They typically don't, like the elderly, they don't eat until dinner, and that's when they have most of their food, basically. Okay. I don't know why, but that's what they fall into typically, is what I see.
For sure. That is true, huh? Interesting. So there's another study that showed that consuming the post-workout meal just 2 hours after working out prevented any improvements induced by the training. It's like, oh, okay. So I just keep telling you inconsistencies, right? It's like, fuck you, all these people who are like, whatever. Okay, then earlier I was talking about the cardio thing. So with regards to cardio, there's an obvious difference between how our muscles respond to cardio versus a strength training bout. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is, And so in regards to carbohydrate metabolism following a workout, there might not be much of a difference. We just don't know. And it's like, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. So the thing is that the long-term protein metabolism, the differences in that can be seen. So what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Who knows?
Basically everything I'm saying to you is like, okay, so what's the fucking answer?
Yes, please.
So what David Barr considered to be one of the most underrated scientific papers, Tipton and colleagues, written in 2003, they examined the responsiveness of protein synthesis for a day after a workout and found it to reflect a 24-hour enhanced level. That's right, a full fucking day. So that means having your morning shake will have the same impact on protein synthesis as one consumed following the workout. Interesting, right? Okay, right? It's like,
so you got to have a pre-workout shake to maximize and a post-workout shake, a meal, nutrition.
Yeah, exactly. And then keep in mind, like a protein shake is macronutrients. That is nutrition.
Do they have a lot of carbs in them though? I don't think
Some
so.
do. Some do. Like I think I just bought a new one. It was on sale over at Walmart. It's like a Synthesix brand.
Ooh, I was just gonna say Synthesix.
Yeah,
hell
nice,
yeah.
Nice. I actually prefer Optimum Nutrition, the gold standard, But
Synthesix just tastes so damn good.
It does, dude. The one that I got is like this Cold Stone Creamery. It's
I know they're
German chocolate cake. Remember the German potato soup, dude? Remember that?
Yeah, their flavors are insane. They're so good.
They are, man. And so, like, we've known for a long time that post-workout protein synthesis is jacked up. It's unknown, if you will. Like it's not as we make it out to be. And if you're discovering this for the first time, that's pretty fucking cool, right? Like if this is the first time you're hearing that, that's pretty fucking cool. There was another study that showed that even 48 hours after the workout, our protein synthesis levels can be elevated by 33%, giving us even a longer period during which we can maximize our muscle growth with protein drinks. Strike one for the 1 hour post-workout window.
So it seems like it's up to 2 days.
Exactly. So fuck you saying you gotta have a funnel. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Okay. Moving right into number 5. Consuming the drink immediately following the workout will elicit the greatest protein synthesis.
This is the funnel theory.
This is it, baby. And so I loved how David Barr was talking about this, how he said, it's amazing to see that the more advanced and oftentimes experienced people behave in the gym, like how they behave in the gym and their post-workout drinks and meals, where they're like, all right, exactly what you're saying. You're finishing a set. As soon as it hits the floor, you're fucking yelling out, where's my protein shake? And then you chug it down, right? And it's like, it doesn't need to be that way.
Stop worrying about that.
Exactly.
You're stressing yourself out and you're killing yourself slowly because of that.
Yeah, literally. It's OCD in a sense. It's like, whoa, dude, chill the fuck out, man. Like, chill.
Yeah, now you know it can work without that. So just, you don't need to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so there was a research done that used drinks consumed immediately after a workout versus those ingested an hour after training. The results are surprising. It seems that post-workout meal ingestion actually results in 30% lower protein synthesis rates than when we wait. Holy shit, right?
That's interesting.
That's fucking crazy. Strike 2 for the 1 hour post-workout window. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So like, and I used to do it every time. I remember I'd go work out with Bellfuck all the time at the YMKA, and every single fucking time We dip out. Actually, he already had his nanner in him, but on him. I'm sorry. I would dip out to the Circle K right there, and I would go get a Rockin' Refuel and a banana, and I would boom right after I was done with my stretching and go. So realistically, that was probably 30 to 40 minutes post workout.
Yeah.
Realistically.
So you could have just waited a little bit longer and you'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It may be even a little bit better off.
Exactly. So yeah, that was an interesting one. So strike 2. All right, number 6. The best meal to consume following a post-workout meal is a good solid meal. So like steak and sweet potato and asparagus and mashed potatoes and more potatoes and Idaho potatoes and yesterday potatoes. Why do I keep saying potatoes?
I don't know, man.
Dude,
tubers are so good.
They are pretty freaking good.
Dude, I learned that potatoes are I think they're the highest satiating, one of the highest satiating foods, which I thought was really interesting. I didn't know that.
That is really interesting because I know protein increases your satiety more than anything else.
I think potatoes were above like everything.
That's so interesting. And now that you mention that too, like my mom makes such amazing fucking mashed potatoes. And I remember sometimes she would ask me like, what do I want for dinner? And I would just be like, can you literally just make me a pot of mashed potatoes? And she's like, sure.
Okay.
And I would literally just go to town on this fucking huge pot of mashed potatoes. And I felt amazing, you know? Man, I need to learn how to make mashed potatoes. My mouth's watering. Okay, so once again, the best meal to consume following a post-workout meal is a solid meal. That's a myth. This is where we can start to apply what I talked about before, right? With that whole post-workout window. It lasts for at least 24 hours, right? At least, maybe up to 48. So basically, this is where there's another research came in, and this research showed that the best thing to consume after a post-workout meal is another protein shake. So if we time it right, we'll get the same huge increase in protein synthesis. Double whammy is what he said for muscle growth. So if you're having your pre-workout drink, which we already talked about basically counts as 2 for 1, and then you're having your post-workout protein shake, now you're getting another one. The thing that confused me about this, though, is that it is saying get in a protein shake, right?
Yeah.
Where we just read before that eating results in 30% lower protein synthesis.
Well, that was within 30 minutes, right? Or something like that. That was
within an hour.
Yeah, with a short. So they found one study that said if you eat quickly after a workout, it could potentially decrease the synthesis. But then also they found within 2 days, muscle synthesis is increased. So the window is huge, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that because I know we were talking about how the insulin affects growth. So you need carbs. I guess it doesn't. I guess the myth is true. You don't need to have a good solid meal. It just needs to have carbs that stimulate insulin and about 20 grams of protein.
And that's what it's getting at. That's exactly what it's getting at, is that you don't need food, you need macronutrients. You know? And that's ultimately what I think that myth is saying. But
it's probably healthier to have a whole meal, though, right? Like
it's life. It's sustenance. You know, I know. Like if I have a protein shake, I'm like, okay, so now what do I eat? Like my stomach's empty still. You know, versus
it goes through you faster, right?
Definitely liquid versus solid, right? It digests ridiculously quick, or quicker than solid food, anyways. So what it's saying at the end of this myth is like, okay, if you're having a tough time accepting the reality that was explained in the previous myth, you'll get an even bigger response from the second drink compared to what you get from the first.
So, yeah, that's what I found. You need to post-workout.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like, okay, so if I'm taking a post-workout drink, based on what we're learning about glycogen restoration, I just want protein. I don't even care about the carbs.
Well, you should though, because of the insulin response, right?
For the insulin response.
Right. That's going to help you out.
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you don't need to replenish the glycogen because you're going to do that yourself. You need the
Correct.
insulin response.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I see that. I see that.
And here's this I found this workout graph that someone made. It's from a research article. Let me see. It's 2020. Nutrient timing. The title is Nutrient Timing: A Garage Door of Opportunity? Question mark. Yes, basically. So here's their workout plan here. Hold on, let me read it. So they have two.
Hold on 1 second. I knew, so I opened this bottle of wine last night and it's empty now. And I knew that was going to happen. So I had a backup.
My man, get those phytonutrients. Resveratrol, baby. Yeah. It's another life prolonging molecule. Did you know that?
No, but now I do.
Drink more wine. Anyway, so they have two timelines here for meals and working out. So if you're A is a 70 kilogram athlete, competition day, and then the other one is training 2 times a day. So on competition day, they have a breakfast meal. They have a pre-match meal. That one is less than 10 grams of fat, while breakfast is about 15 grams of fat. So the pre-match meal is 20 grams of protein, 110 grams of carbs, or around there. And then on the competition, during it, they have 120 grams of carbs. And then they have their post competition meal, which is about the same as the pre-match one. And then they also add after that, about 2 hours after the competition. So you have the post-match meal, and then you have another like carbohydrate drink. And then you have dinner and a protein shake before bed. That's what they say is like the optimal if you're a competitive athlete on competition day.
Yeah.
And so for training 2 times a day, so they have breakfast. So 20 grams of carbs again. All of these every meal is about 20 grams of carbs.
Are you looking at like a graph, or is this like a
pretty? I can just share my screen, huh?
You could do that, or you could just interject it into the podcast. I'd love to like see how it's broken down like that, because like I'm trying to like.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just share the screen.
In mind as you're saying it.
Right. Yeah. I know. There's a lot of numbers here. So can you see that now?
Yes, I can.
And I'll put it on the screen for everybody who wants to check it out. So yeah, we went, on competition day. So they have this regimen there. So a lot of eating, like what you were doing, like you were telling me, you eat constantly.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause you for 1 second.
Yeah.
This graph is exactly what I was trying to like.
I
was like, how am I supposed to do this?
I guess it's like a timeline.
Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, thank goodness that I asked you for that, because there's no way out of remembering.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So for training 2 times a day, they say you have your breakfast and you have your conditioning for about 1 hour. And so you have a carbohydrate drink during the conditioning, 60 grams of carbs. And then the post-training workout meal, so 20 grams protein, 70 grams of carbs, thereabouts. You got your lunch, you got pre-training meal again, and your sport drink during, which is just carbs, and then the post-training workout again. And then you got dinner. So a lot of protein, a lot of carbs,
a lot of calories.
Yeah, I mean, you're burning through it if you're training twice a day.
For sure. Like I know at my peak athleticism and working out, I was training probably, at least 4 hours a day. And I would probably eat at least 4,000 calories. I remember sometimes at the end, like before I'd go to bed, man, not before I would go to bed, but like a few hours before, I would literally eat a fucking whole tub of ice cream like it was nothing. And this is when I was at the best shape of my life. You know what I'm saying?
You're just craving carbs like crazy, eating a whole bowl of mashed potatoes.
Fat carbs. I was just like, give me.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's probably having a pretty, at that time, a poor relationship with my nutrition, because like, had I known that I needed carbs, I could have probably just fucking had fruit or something
Well, I mean,
else.
there's a lot of sugar in ice cream, so I think you've managed it. You got it.
I know, but ice cream, fruit, like,
Right, yeah, it's better.
you know, like, literally 100% of the time I would say, yeah, you should probably eat the fruit instead of the ice cream.
Do you remember the workout dude, Scooby?
No.
Oh, I remember Jesse making fun of me for the Scooby guy. But
Scooby.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's still around, but he had this saying. It was basically for workout nutrition. Anything is better than nothing, but then
Yes.
like whole foods, the healthy stuff is better than a Snickers bar or something,
Right, right.
So your tub of ice cream was better than nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. And I do agree with you there. I totally do. Plus, it fucking got my endorphins running like crazy, and I was in a great mood.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm gonna interject this because this is such a strong lifestyle thing that I feel that everyone needs to understand about me. So I read a quote from Heath Ledger, which I don't necessarily have the quote right now up, but it was along the lines of this: like, when you meet someone, when you're talking to someone, everyone always asks like, "Oh, how successful are you in your career? How much money do you make? What kind of things do you own?" And nobody ever asks, how fucking happy are you?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And if you're happy, you will live longer. You fucking straight up, because you're going to have more endorphins, less stress. It's just happiness is everything.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay.
And a sad story about Heath Ledger, man. He was the best Joker ever.
Ever.
Anyway,
Ever, man.
I know. Hands down. All right, let's keep it going.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I know. All right, we're moving into number 7, dude.
I think we're coming up on an hour here. Dang.
Yeah, we are, which honestly isn't too bad because these next ones will be semi-fast.
Okay.
All right, so number 7, insulin sensitivity is enhanced for an hour following a resistance training bout. This is a myth. So
Okay.
first off, let's talk about insulin sensitivity and what that means. Let's define it as the inverse of the quantity of insulin required for an effect of given magnitude.
So this is just like what you imagine diabetes, right?
Yeah. High insulin sensitivity requires low levels of insulin to do the job.
Yeah.
Because you're sensitive to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. So that's our definition of it, right? So we are going to destroy this myth of the 1 hour post-workout window once and for all. This is going to be strike fucking 3, dude. We know that both endurance exercise and strength training will enhance insulin sensitivity in the long term. This is a good thing. But with all the hype surrounding the post-workout window, people have started throwing out numbers related to how long insulin sensitivity is altered. So we know that heavily damaging eccentric exercises, think of like negatives on an, you're doing a bench press, you load more than your max and you're doing negatives. So it's eccentric lowerings. Those are very damaging to your muscle tissue, which then it rebuilds, et cetera, et cetera. If you're working out, you literally are tearing your muscles and then they're rebuilding. And I know you know that, but
yeah.
Okay. So those heavily damaging exercises will reduce insulin sensitivity. But that's an extreme condition. Most people don't work out that way.
So I bet it's because of the inflammation caused by the damage.
I definitely bet you're right. Totally. Because the damage is so severe that you need to repair it. And our body's natural response is inflammation. It's send help, help,
yeah,
help,
and
help to the gates, to the gates. Like
Wakanda.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. So the more common response to strength training is an increase in insulin sensitivity. And there's data that shows the acute effect from a single bout lasts for over 24 hours. So while we'll have an enhanced whole body insulin sensitivity following resistance training, this effect is greater than 24 hours. So boom, 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 strike fucking three.
I thought this was going to say that it had no effect on insulin resistance. So it's not just an hour, it's another whole day.
A whole fucking day, bro.
So the whole window thing is just, it's
bullshit.
A garage door. Yeah.
It's bullshit. Our body is so much stronger, so much more resilient, so much better than what you fucking think. And it's like, you think that by you putting in a protein shake, you're going to do better for your body than your body's going to do for you. Like, holy shit. Respect your innards, bro. Like, holy moly.
And just thinking about this, like, you know how we were talking about how some things are just logical? You're like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But like the opposite of this, when you say that there's only an hour window to do stuff like post-workout and the insulin sensitivity, like with backward logic, you can be like, oh yeah, I guess that's kind of right, because if you're a caveman, you just hunted down a woolly mammoth, you're going to eat it right there. We evolved to eat the food right after we killed it.
Right.
But apparently it lasts longer than that.
Dude,
because I guess because you know you don't always kill something every time.
Right, exactly. Which is why our brain is always in survival mode. It goes back to that shit. It's always.
And if you throw a spear at a deer, it's gonna fucking run away unless you get it right in the heart. So you're probably chasing it for a while, for more than 1 hour.
And I mean, let's not even talk about spears. Let's talk about straight up hunting. I personally have never gone hunting, but I'm not opposed to it. I really am not. For animals that are ruining livestock, like there's too much deer, and they do need to be offed. They do.
In some places, or maybe most, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And so the thing is, if you're a shitty hunter, then fuck, that sucks so bad for the animal, because then you shoot it and you don't kill it in one shot. Mm-hmm. And then this is nowadays, you're still tracking that animal for however many miles it's going. You're following its blood path, etc., etc., etc. That's with a motherfucking bullet and a gun.
I know.
So now imagine you had a spear or an arrow.
Dude, that thing has like 8 spears in its leg, and you're chasing it for a day.
Exactly. Exactly, dude. Like, hunting is exhausting. Mm-hmm. From what I've heard, they're out there for 12, 14 hours in extreme conditions. It's like a sniper in the military, you know, they're just like sitting in their own shit. It's not a comfortable situation.
No.
It's not. And it makes sense that it's not a comfortable situation. You're trying to take the life of something. It's obviously going to try its absolute best
dude.
to survive.
I want to live.
Yeah, of course. Like, would you just be like, okay, it killed me? Like,
no.
Like in I Am Legend, when his dog's dying and he has a knife in his leg and he's crawling like a little fucking bitch. I'm like, get the fuck up. Piss me off. Anyways, whatever.
I love that movie, honestly. It's so good.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I love that German Shepherd. And I was so sad that he allowed his dog to die because he didn't. So adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, get the fuck up, because he did it. He did that when they got closer. Whatever, Will Smith.
Dude, my favorite scene of that movie, tangent, is when he set up the trap for the zombies. Like, this is right before he fell into his own trap, and he's strung upside down. Remember that on the bridge?
Yeah.
And he says to the mannequin in the doorway, "What are you doing out here, Fred?
What are you doing here, Fred?" Dude,
that's the best fucking.
If you watch the movie, the fucking head turns.
Oh shit! I gotta rewatch it.
It straight up turns, and it's like, whoa, dude.
Well, he's probably hallucinating, dehydrated, man.
Another tangent on that movie. Do you know what pissed me off? You know how he had that fucking glass, that super thick glass at the very end?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just have a UV light behind that? Like, man, and just blast all of them.
I know. Who knows, dude?
Whatever. All right, myth number 8. Whey is a fast protein ideal for post-workout. basically what it is a tortoise is fast compared to a snail, right? So casein is slower releasing protein, but whey is not a fast releasing protein. It's just a little bit faster.
Wait, you're
And
telling me
so
the bros in the locker room are lying, or they're wrong?
they're wrong, man.
Oh
They're fucking
no.
wrong, dude. And so this is where I found what I found to be the most interesting part about this. And like, so I used to take BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, right? And that also was when I was at my peak fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started looking at my protein bottles. And it shows the amount of amino acids in protein. And they're naturally occurring in that whey protein. And so I was like, well, why the fuck am I drinking BCAAs if it's already in my protein? And so what this research taught me, and so because of that, I completely got rid of BCAAs. Even
saving
though,
you money.
Exactly. Even though that they were making me feel better, and at that point I thought it was just placebo, right? So listen to this though. All right, so it's frustrating because the ways to maximize your protein synthesis we've been discussing have all used amino acids. So because whey protein is not fast releasing, you need those pure amino acids or something close that resembles their absorptive properties. So that's where whey protein hydrolysate comes in, or just straight up getting some BCAAs. And they're gonna get into your blood a lot sooner than whey protein. And so that probably is why I was feeling better when I was taking BCAAs. And then it wasn't placebo, it was real. And it was just interesting. It was very, very interesting to me to read that. So what I took from that is that you do want those BCAAs as soon as possible after your workout. And whey protein isn't going to get it to you. And I'll say you want your BCAAs as soon as you can after your workout if you're striving for the gains. If you're not striving for the gains, then whey protein is totally fine. Your body's going to get those BCAAs anyways, and you're fine. You know, you're okay. So when it comes to a typical person, which is mostly the people we're talking to, whey protein's fine. Like you don't need to have the BCAAs right after. But if you do want the gains, get some BCAAs.
Cool.
Number 9, using antioxidants post-workout enhances recovery. This is just another myth that makes sense.
We just talked about this.
We
already debunked it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we really did. And it's just like, oh, it just makes sense. But no, it doesn't. There's a lot more complexity to it. And okay, so like
when we were talking about the stress, it basically came down to you can supplement with vitamin C and E, like antioxidants, if you're doing a lot of high intensity workouts. Like if you're not doing that, then your body has natural mechanisms basically to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny, I don't know if you're looking at the Notion right now, but what I highlighted right here is literally vitamin C dosage right there, you know? Yeah. Cool. So we've already been talking for quite some time today. I'm not going to go too in depth into this one. Honestly, we already did, right?
Yeah, we covered it, and we just...
That's the myth.
That's
antioxidants post-workout enhances recovery. No, it doesn't.
For most people, you don't need to.
You don't.
And this is saying that it doesn't.
Correct.
Because your body has natural mechanisms to do it anyway. Okay.
10. 10! Aspirin and ibuprofen are good anti-inflammatories for muscle recovery. So muscle inflammation, just inflammation in general, is such a hot topic, you know? Like, it's so easy to say, like, oh, what causes cancer? Inflammation. What causes everything? Inflammation. What causes pain? Inflammation. Inflammation causes fucking everything that's not homeostasis, right? Homeostatic.
It's not the Epstein-Barr virus. What?
That fucking, what was his name, dude?
The medical medium.
What's his real name?
I don't fucking know.
It doesn't even matter, dude. It doesn't
No.
even matter. Jesus Christ. Okay, so while the theory says like, okay, the use of traditional pain relievers like aspirin and ibuprofen is common because most people don't like the feeling of muscle soreness, but it's like, I don't know, why did you work out that hard? Or so I don't know, like, do it better.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're going over muscle soreness, there's one of two approaches you can take. And I think we talked about this actually when you came and worked out with me that one time. So like, you came in, worked out as hard as you used to, and you were super sore for 7 days. If you were to then do that exact same workout again, you would not be not even nearly as sore the next time.
No.
Or you could break up that intensity over a bunch of different bouts of workouts and then do it slower. So, don't take drugs. Like, why would you want to take an anti-inflammatory when that's your body's response to what needs to happen?
I know. Yeah, you need it, man.
You know? And it's like, okay, if you had chronic inflammation, sometimes there are times where, I hate aspirin, but I'll take ibuprofen sometimes. And there are times where if you're chronically inflamed, that allowing the ibuprofen to decrease that inflammation will allow your body to heal itself. If it's chronic, if it's very chronic, but if it's acute inflammation, let it happen. It's okay. Like it's fine, dude. Also, what's interesting is that muscle protein synthesis, this is from a research, is completely shut down when those drugs are combined with strength training. Completely shut down.
Oops.
Yeah.
That's a huge fuck up, huh?
Oops. Yeah, exactly. And so this part I don't agree with. I guess maybe it didn't go in depth, maybe it's more specific, but it's like, okay, final kick in the teeth. Using these drugs resulted in no effect on either inflammation or muscle soreness. So
that's what I was gonna talk about, is like the soreness, because maybe like you could take the drug and it could help you stretch because you're not in so much pain, maybe. I don't know. But again, if you're in pain, you shouldn't just ignore it, right?
Yeah. Right, exactly. And so by taking a painkiller, you are ignoring it, right? You're not like, okay, all right, if I broke my fucking elbow and you gave me enough drugs, I'd be like,
yeah, it's like
I'd be totally okay with it.
You took the fire alarm out of your house.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then when those drugs wore off, I'd be like, ah! You know, it'd be like the worst possible fucking thing to ever exist. So it's like, why are you gonna put a band-aid on this issue instead of letting your body just do its fucking thing? Respect your body, you know.
Did cavemen have aspirin? I don't think so.
No. You know, it's so funny. I always use cavemen as like a reference because those are who we came from, you know, like they're the fucking OGs.
And your nickname is Krog Dog.
Exactly, dude. Everyone always uses this defense when I talk about cavemen. Yeah, well, they only fucking lived until they were 30 years old. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They also didn't have fucking like running water or electricity or heat or air conditioning. They were also hunted by saber-toothed tigers. They all like, holy shit, like chill the fuck out with that. You go fucking do that shit. Like, have you ever seen the movie 10,000 BC? Fuck that shit.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that shit. All right, so 10 takeaway points.
Okay.
Number 1, glycogen restoration is all too easy to achieve and may not be as critical as we thought. Number 2, protein synthesis needs to be the focus of our recovery intervention. Number three.
For number 2, you need, for that to work, you need insulin and you need adequate protein.
Correct. Yep. Number 3, pre-workout meals actually enhance muscle blood flow and nutrient delivery during exercise. Number 4, pre-workout meals, nocturnal feeding, and multiple post-workout drinks are more beneficial than a single post-workout drink. Number 5, the post-workout window lasts at least 24 hours. That is a big one. Like that should be like number 1, right?
Yeah.
Number 6, consuming a protein shake immediately after training hinders optimal results.
Don't be the funnel people. Don't be the funnel people.
I have done that so many times, man. So many times. Number 7, strength training acutely enhances insulin sensitivity for at least 24 hours. The point to take away is the 24 hours part. Number 8, whey protein is generally only moderate speed, while whey hydrolysate and pure amino acids are fast. Number 9, antioxidants taken after exercise may increase muscle damage and delay recovery. Which honestly we didn't get too much into, but yes.
Your body has ways to deal with it, man. Just let it do it.
Let it do it. And number 10, aspirin and ibuprofen can prevent the exercise-induced elevation in muscle protein synthesis, thus hindering growth and prolonging recovery. Bada bing, bada
boom.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Hell
dude.
yeah. That was very informative.
I know, man. Like, I was gonna narrow it down to 5, but then I was like, which 5?
No.
Like, which 5, dude?
Right. Yeah, that was good, man.
Here,
let me scroll through my tabs here and see if I want to add anything real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a hypothesis, the leucine threshold. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's so basically they're saying like you can chug your protein shake, but if you just take out leucine, you probably won't get your body doesn't get the signal to start protein synthesis. Like you might get the increased effect from working out, right, after a whole day, but then you also need insulin and leucine.
So like in your protein shake, pour some ketchup in it, dude, and just
Leucine is in ketchup?
Isn't ketchup and leucine synonymous?
I don't know.
Isn't there a ridiculous amount of leucine in ketchup?
I've never heard that before.
What am I thinking of then?
Oh, here I have a list of foods. So
I could have sworn. What am I thinking of then, man?
it goes whey, soy protein, pea protein, and then the next actual non-concentrate food that has the highest amount of leucine is soybeans. And then it goes hemp, beef, peanuts, fish, wheat, germ, almonds, chicken, oats. Yeah, and milk is at the bottom. And I wanted to bring that up because we talked about mTOR, and one of the things that activates mTOR is leucine. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that is interesting, man.
So the hypothesis probably does have some validity to it.
Man, I'm so bothered right now about this ketchup thing.
Yeah.
Why?
I've never heard that.
Hold on a sec.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over to my refrigerator and find some ketchup.
Okay.
What?
Remember, folks.
What is going on?
Like the video.
Dude, I know.
Subscribe.
You know what, dude? I'm gonna go fuck myself. Yeah, just go fuck myself. Oh shit! Wait, you can hear this, huh?
Forget the ketchup.
I forgot that I had that microphone on. It's fucking fantastic, dude. Oh, that makes it so much better.
I don't think they would tell you that it has leucine in it.
What's up?
I don't think the label would tell you, but maybe.
Do tomatoes?
I'm sure they have some amount.
I could have sworn they have a a good amount, but I guess I'm wrong, man.
Dude, if you want to squirt ketchup into your protein shake, do it. I don't, you know what?
Let's see. Tomatoes contain 0.061 grams of BCAAs per every 100 grams. What food is high in leucine? Dairy, soybeans, legumes, meat.
Lentils, corn.
Lentils, yeah. Okay, so I guess not fucking tomatoes. I don't know.
Something you learned from the locker room, I guess. That was another thing that was wrong.
I could have sworn I've seen it on the bottle where it says like high in leucine.
What?
Because, you know, well, think about food labels where it says like gluten, like Oreos will be like gluten-free, fucking vegan, blah, 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 blah. So people are like, oh, I must be healthy. So then, like, why wouldn't tomato companies, ketchup companies, be like fucking branched chain amino acids? So then people are like, yeah. And
yeah,
like,
I don't know.
You know.
Maybe they did do that at some point, and then they got sued.
Because there wasn't enough of it.
Yeah, they're like, you guys are lying. Stop.
Yeah, liars. bag of worms.
That's it, man.
That is fucking it, dude.
When you were fucking yourself in the fridge, I told everyone to like the video and subscribe. So
cool. excellent. They should. Everybody, Immortality Lab, motherfucking Brian Devonshire. Round of applause for Brian Devonshire. Who claps like this?
Like this. One-handed, dude.
And once again, I'm Christian Martirana. Here we are, Immortality Lab. And
hopefully this was informative to everyone else.
Shit, dude, it was super informative to me, so I don't understand how it couldn't be, man. But yeah, all right.
Signing off. That's it. We'll just close it out right there.
Motherfuckers.
Immortality! Shake it! It's yours!